Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bo. Okay, so we're continuing our Vilap Kusumanjali, meditating and praying on these verses, praying to Srimati Radhika, praying to her Parijan, her Sakis and Manjaris, that we may one day gain the fortune of serving in those pastimes in Braj. So we'll read from verse 78. Madhavam madana keli vibrame mataya sarasi jaina bhavatya taditam sumukhi vikshya kintvayam guda hasya vadana bhavishyati. Guda hasya vadana bhavishyati. This means, when will I see you? Smiling with great excitement in your face. Vadana means your beautiful face. And hasya means smiling, laughing, playing. So this is saying, oh Srimati Radhika, who is very fair-faced, whose face is very glowing and effulgent. When will I see you? Very excitedly, beating Madhav with your lotus play kamal, means lila kamal. Madhavam madane keli vibrame mataya sarasi jaina bhavatya Taditam sumukhi viksha kintvayam. Where's this? Guda hasya vadana bhavishyati. Bhavishyati means, again, the future tense. So when will this happen? When will I see this? So before, we are hearing how they were performing jal keli, water sports. And we're remembering this pastime of Radha Krishna's water sports in Radha Kund. So sometimes when they're splashing each other, then before we heard how Krishna was splashing, but all the gopis were surrounding him on all sides, and so he was outnumbered. They were all splashing him at once. And so Krishna started complaining, like, this is not fair. That there are thousands of you and I am alone. How can I compete? And from every side, all the manjaris and sakis are splashing Krishna. There's many water sports. Jal Keli means many kinds of water sports. Some is like playing different kinds of instruments in the water. This is actually one of the 64 arts. Even Krishna learned this from Sandipani Muni when he went to school. That's why school in Braj is much more sweet. In this world, we have to study arithmetic and geography, history, math, and language, grammar, and all this kind of boring stuff. In Braj, they also learn these kinds of things in some way, but they also do practical arts. So what is a practical art? How to play on water, different instruments, make the sounds of drums and everything like that. That's one of the 64 arts. So when you go to school in Braj, and this was not just in Braj, but in where Krishna learned from Sandipani Muni. In 64 days, he learned all 64 arts. So Krishna was very smart. Each day he was perfect in one art, how to speak in different languages, how to deal in different ways in like politics, how to dance, how to sing, how to do things like this. So Jal Keli, they have like a symphony, a concert just on the water. So this is one thing. And then splashing and fighting also. So everyone was splashing Krishna. Then Krishna said, it's not fair. I'll just fight with one at a time. So he said, just me and Radhika will have a competition. So Krishna and Radhika began splashing each other. And Krishna became very aggressive. And so Radhika was a little disturbed, and then Tulsi Manjari and others began to help. So then they performed like hide and seek. And when they're doing hide and seek, then Krishna hides in the blue lotuses. So in one area of Radha Kund or Shama Kund, there's huge area of just lotuses. And so Krishna hides in all the blue lotuses, and then you can't find him because he is Sham, bluish. Sometimes they say, oh, Krishna is like dark black. But Krishna is Bhagavan. He can change. Sometimes he appears black, sometimes he appears blue. In the Shastra it says that Krishna is sometimes Rakta Varna, like red, and sometimes he is Gaur Varna, sometimes he is Sukla Varna, white. So Krishna appears in many different colors and different incarnations. Sometimes Krishna becomes golden, even in Braj. He takes shelter of Radhika, takes Radhika's foot dust during Holi, and becomes golden. You painted this pastime, I think, in the Ekadashi book. Krishna is sitting and he is very beautiful, Gauranga, but also Krishna. So generally we see paintings of Krishna where he is blue, Sham, like this. Here Krishna is blue. So therefore he can hide in the blue lotuses very nicely. And they search and can't find him. And then finally they send out like birds to look above. And then all the different gopis search and finally they find him. And then Radhika hides amongst the golden lotuses. And so then Krishna cannot find her. So when he finds, sometimes she will take a lotus and she will beat him. This is called the Leela Kamal. Pastime lotus. Leela Kamal, Kamal's lotus, and Leela is Leela Kamal. So Radhika will beat Krishna with the lotus, showing she is in charge. So this is this pastime. So one thing I want to talk about is Gurudev describes the nature of prem. That in Braj, the prem is... What is the nature of prem? We learned this verse. Remember? Sarvata dvangsa rahitam yadyapi dvangsa karane. What is the nature of real love? How can you understand what is real love? That even if all reasons are there for your love to be broken, your love only increases. Sarvata dvangsa rahitam yadyapi dvangsa karane. Karane means if all kinds of reasons for your love to be broken are there, but your love only increases, then that is love. So Radhika and Krishna, especially with Radharani, Krishna is like, he is not Ananya. He has so many bhaktas, so many gopis, and whoever he sees, if they have love, he runs to them. Krishna is only greedy for prem, love. And so with Yashoda, with those in Vatsalya Ras, Sakya Ras, Madhurya Ras, he's going everywhere. But Radhika is Ananya especially. One-pointed. Even though Krishna may go and meet with others, Radhika's mood is one-pointed. And even she prays, like Mahaprabhu prays with this verse. This 8th verse of Shikshastakam. Ishlishava ritang pinastuma medarshan marma hatang karotuva yatat ta viradatu lampato mat prana natastu se eva naparaha. If you reject me, if you don't meet with me, if you meet with others in front of me, if you abuse me in front of them, criticize me, I am only yours. I accept you. You are lampata. Lampata means someone who is like a debauchee, very restless, here and there, no rules and regulations. Lampat. Krishna is lampat because he's like a bumblebee, and he will meet with all flowers, and every flower is a bhakta who has prem for him. The fragrance of the flower is the prem of the devotee, the love of the devotee. And so Krishna is Bhagavan. His seva is going and fulfilling the desire of the devotees to be with him and to serve him. We heard yesterday in the Dan Gati Lila, the gopis had this chance to bring ghee to the rishis and get a boon, a benediction. And when the gopis were saying, what is your ambition? They said, I only want to serve Krishna. Let Krishna come to me and I can serve Krishna. I want to catch Krishna. So what can Krishna do? He has to be with everyone. So this is, in one sense, this is Krishna's seva. His seva is fulfilling our desire to be with him and to serve him. But therefore he has to go to everyone. This is like his seva, like Santa Claus. Santa Claus has to go to all the different kids and give them gifts. Krishna, this is a fake, right? Santa Claus. But the idea is that Krishna is going to all the devotees and serving them. Okay? So to fulfill their desire to be with him, he has to go to everyone. But Radhika, she is one-pointed. That's why it's said that Radha's prem is even higher. Radhika's prem is even higher. In this world, we don't find this kind of prem. In this world, prem is very... if we say like yadyapi dvangsa karane, if there's any cause, Haribo. We're just talking about the Leela Kamal, 78. And then we learned this verse, yadyapi dvangsa rahitam, sarvata dvangsa rahitam yadyapi dvangsa karane. What is prem? Prem means even if all causes are there for the love to be broken between the lover and beloved, the love only increases. And so Srimati Radhika is one-pointed to Krishna, but Krishna's love is in many places. But even when Krishna is meeting with the other gopis, in his heart, he is only seeing Radhika's moods reflected in the gopis. Gurudev says that all the gopis are kaya vyuha expansions of Radhika. Radhika's kaya is her body. Vyuha means like a group. Like there are many gopis expanding from Srimati Radhika. And Gurudev describes that Radhika is Swarup Shakti. So her moods of desiring to serve Krishna expand into the forms of all the gopis. So in one sense, we can say Krishna is loyal only to Radhika. So we are saying that Krishna is like a bumblebee. He flies and he meets with all the flowers. And the fragrance of the flowers is the prem of the devotees, the bhakti of the devotees. the more fragrance there is, or prem there is, then more Krishna is attracted. So in the verse that we learned before, 75, we heard that Rati Manjari is praying that, Krishna was going to Radhika's kunj, but then Chandravali Sakhis took him to her kunj. But then the Pavan Devata brought the fragrance of Radhika to Chandravali's kunj, and smelling this fragrance, the bumblebee of Krishna became more attracted to go to Radhika's kunj, because the fragrance of her prem is more high. In her Vamya Bhav, her contrary leftist mood is more powerful, and so Krishna is attracted there. He's not so attracted to Tadiya mood. One thing interesting Gurudev was saying, Gokul Prabhu, is an interesting thing we were reading, is that there's 4 groups of gopis, Swapaksha, Tatashta, Suhrit, and Vipaksha. And he says you can understand all the groups by the degree of Tadiya Madhya mood. Tadiya mood is, I am yours, Krishna, I am your property, I will do as you say. And Madhya mood is, you are my property, and you will do as I say. And Radhika has the Madhya mood, and Chandravali has the Tadiya mood. And because Chandravali has 100% Tadiya mood, and Radhika 100% Madhya mood, therefore they're Swapaksha and Vipaksha. Because they're Tadiya, then Chandravali is against Radhika's party. And because Radhika is Madhya, then they're opposed to Chandravali's party. And then he says, Tatashta party is 90% Tadiya, 10% Madhya. So there's different subtleties of the degrees. And if there's Suhrit or friendly to Radhika, they will be Tatashta to Chandravali, neutral to Chandravali. And if they're Suhrit, friendly to Chandravali, then they'll be Tatashta to Radhika. So if it's 90-10 Tadiya Madhya, Chandravali, and 90-10 Madhya to Tadiya, then Radhika is Suhrit. So it's technical like that. But the point is that Krishna is more attracted to the Madhya mood. So that fragrance is more attractive. So when Krishna smells the fragrance coming from Radhika, brought by the Pavan Deva, who is drunk, bringing the fragrance of Radhika, he becomes like a drunkard, and therefore it's going Dihira Samira, very gently. Gurudev says he's walking as if he's drunk, because he has taken that fragrance of Radhika's prem and he's bringing it to Krishna. So he himself becomes intoxicated by that, and Krishna goes there. So then we're talking again about prem and saying Radhika and Krishna's prem. In one sense, Krishna is one-pointed, because Krishna is seeing, on one hand, he has to fulfill the desires of his bhaktas. Krishna says in the Gita, Yeyatamang prapadyante tang sadaiva bhajamyaham. He takes a vow that I will reciprocate with you according to your love and your bhakti. If you serve God with love, then God will reciprocate with you. That's his vow. He won't neglect you, right? But at the same time, so Krishna has to go everywhere. But at the same time, when he's meeting with any of the gopis, he only sees Srimati Radhika. And also this enhances the Parakya Ras. And it ultimately is a setting to show the glory of Radhika supreme over all the other gopis. Because if no other gopis were there, if Krishna was only with Radhika, then it wouldn't show her supreme glory. Like this verse, that he was going to Radhika's kunj, but Krishna is very easily beguiled. So he was led away by Shalbya and Padma to Chandravali's kunj. But then as soon as the fragrance came of Radhika, then he had to make some excuse. Oh, my mother gave me some chore, I forgot, I have to go. And then when he came to the gateway and Tulsi Manjari stopped him, he was so overwhelmed by the fragrance of Radhika that when she asked, where were you? He couldn't think of any excuse. And very softly he said, I was in Chandravali's kunj. And very shyly then he did this, Danda Baitak, holding his ears and offering, praying for forgiveness. And then afterwards he went and signed a vow that I am only Srimati Radhika's. And in Prem Samput, Radhika defends Krishna. So sometimes Radhika shows her contrary mood and will abuse Krishna, will not want to be with Krishna. In this verse it says she is beating him with her Lila Kamal. So sometimes she is like this, but really, you know your friends. Like your friends, they may criticize you to your face, but behind your back, they'll always glorify you. So Radhika, to Krishna, she will chastise him. She will abuse him. But when Krishna came in the guise of a heavenly damsel, and Krishna was abusing himself, oh, this boy is so rascal, he said that your love is very glorious. Krishna said, oh, Radhika, your love is very glorious. But this Krishna is a very bad character, debauchee. Oh, you should not associate with him, you should give him up. And Radhika was very strongly defending Krishna. You don't know my Krishna. Don't criticize my Krishna. So Radhika shows her prem that even in front of Krishna, she may be strong. But behind, in the presence of other people, she's always defending Krishna. She knows Krishna is very soft and sweet, and therefore he's going to everyone. But in this world, Where's the prem? People think we have prem in this world, but it's based on personal benefit. Or some reflection of prem may be there, but if the cause of breaking it comes, then generally it'll be broken. Like we see, people say there is some love. And there is some love in this world. Some reflection of love is here. Gurudev said in a lecture in Houston that you should not be cruel to your family, your wife. Gurudev was speaking in Houston in 96, 97 in Hindi. And he said, some people say, oh, with your father, with your wife, your children, you should give everything up, not talk to them. And Gurudev said, this is bogus. You should, especially there are devotees, you should be compassionate, you should be kind. Look in Braj. Everyone loves Krishna. Krishna's the center. But Nanda and Jashoda aren't abusing each other. They're not cruel-hearted to each other. They also have friendship, and friendship based on love for Krishna. Because Krishna is the center, then everyone can have a nice relationship around Krishna. But at the same time, if Krishna is not in the center, then your relationships won't last. Because as soon as some obstacle comes, then it'll become broken. Today I was checking my email, okay? And when you check your email on your phone, in the Indian Google or whatever, it gives you all the headlines. And so there's a very famous divorce case today. Very famous divorce. In South India, there was a drought for many months. And so they performed a marriage ceremony for 2 frogs. And it was a big festival. Many Brahmins, big pandal, a big feast for the frogs. All the frogs' friends were invited. This is the top head news story on Google India. We had a big pandal, and all the frogs' relatives came. Big feast, lots of flies, fly masala, and fly with sugar. Whatever the frogs like to eat, they had the festival. Also, many people came, so they did a big frog marriage. And then the marriage was to stop the drought. So this is a mature relationship. They come together for some benefit, some need they want to fulfill. And so they saw that after the marriage was so successful that for 3 months they had incessant rain. And it was too much rain, and so the crops got too much water and eroded. And so just a few days ago, they announced the divorce. And again, they brought the frogs together and did the divorce papers. So this is material prem. That's why Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Advaitacharya, before Mahaprabhu came, he said the condition of society was very low. They were not worshipping Krishna. Before, at least they worshipped like Indra. Nowadays, they're worshipping frogs. Before, at least they worshipped Indra. Krishna said, don't worship Indra, worship Giriraj. Right? And at the Chaitanya Bhagavat time, Advaitacharya said, they're spending so much money marrying their cats and dogs. Right? And in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's biography, he talks about his village, where he grew up. And he said every day was a festival of this Turyatrika. Turyatrika means sense gratification, dancing, singing festival, worshipping like Durga or something, only for sense gratification. And this kind of prem is it's very temporary. It's like a candle, flame, and when you have a heavy wind, immediately it blows out. But real prem, you keep it inside, hidden like a flame in your heart, always protected, then it will never go out. So let's go to the next verse. Okay. Radharani, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel down there. Share with your friends, ask a question in the comments, and check out our website, kripa.tv, for courses, to support us, and for our articles and more. Haribol.